here coming at you with another video, and now this one is another book review slash a bit of a haul from when I met Becka Mack back in December. So first of all, I had actually gotten this book here signed by her when I went to the grand opening of the Indigo location in Fairview Mall, so in the Scarborough or North York area, in that area, in the East End. And so, yeah, when I went to meet her, she signed it for me. As you can see, it says Liz, and then it's got a heart and Becka Mack, her signature. Yeah, so then also while we were there, she did also give us some stickers. So these are pretty cool. I love it. So this one was actually is commemorating the newest book in the series, Breathe With Me, which is the last book. So it says on the stickers, one of them says Queen of Fucking Everything. And there's a cute sticker too that it says Personally Victimized by Becka Mack. Love it. And then there's one with fireflies inside of a jar. And then main character energy, love it. Everyone can attain to have that, or can aim to attain that in their lives. And then the other sticker says, I will love every version of her always. I kind of feel like that has to do with Jenny and Garrett. And then the other sticker says, this girl loves meat. And then also too, we also got given a cardboard kind of drawing with all of the characters. So this one I believe is Garrett and Jenny, and then this one I think is Connor and Olivia, and then I believe that one would be Kara and Emmett, and I'm not 100% sure who this one is or who the other one is there. But I am looking forward to reading the other books in the series. Now, I recently got Breathe With Me as well, the newest one, but I do not yet have number 3 and number 4 in the series yet. So now on to the actual book review. So the book I'm reviewing right now is Play With Me. So this one is Garrett and Jenny's story. So as many of you may realize, the first book, Consider Me, was mainly about Carter Beckett and his now wife, Olivia. And of course, Carter Beckett has a younger sister named Jenny. And that is who this book is about. So now, of course, Play With Me is about Garrett Anderson, who is a player on the team that Carter plays on. And he is also one of Carter's best friends. Now, as well, Jenny had just been working towards finishing her dance program at the Arts College in Vancouver. And now also too, Carter has of course now moved in with Olivia, and he was trying to help Jenny gain some independence, and he actually bought a condo for her to rent. And one day, he'd taken her out, and he gave her the keys and brought her into the building and said, hey, here's a surprise for you. And Jenny's like, hey, Carter, you can't just buy me a condo or get me a condo. But sure enough, he did. And it was her own space. And so now fast forward to when Jenny moves in. So Garrett lives in the same building about 4 floors above Jenny in the penthouse. And Carter takes it upon himself to ask Garrett to watch over his little sister. Now, what ends up happening, though, is so they end up starting with a friendship. And, of course, that friendship grows to love. But Carter never expected that to happen. And he's always been super worried about his sister and super protective of her. And both Carter and Jenny had lost their dad due to a car accident when a drunk driver had killed him. And so due to that fact, that's one of the reasons why Jenny does not drink. And Garrett's dad has also had some substance issues and, had been an alcoholic and had trouble, with that. And Garrett ended up helping him through it, even as a young kid, and would often end up having to drive him home from whatever bar it was, even at the age of 11. Now, fast forward a little bit, Carter's dad has, made a vast improvement, and he eventually, at one point when he was having those troubles, he had moved out of his mom's place and he had just gone away. And then eventually, Garrett's mom and dad worked it out again. And then he ended up having 3 younger sisters when his mom and dad got back together. Now, that was a lot to have on Garrett as a young boy. And thankfully, Garrett's dad turned things around, and his sisters never knew that version of their dad. So another thing too, Garrett's family lives on the coast, like in Nova Scotia, and Garrett and his friends and, the family that he chose are in Vancouver due to, playing for the team in Vancouver and everything. And he's always had a hard time not being close enough to his family and seeing his sisters grow in that because he was so far away. So he'd been trying to get his family to, to move to Vancouver for so long. And then, unfortunately, at one point in the book, his dad ends up losing his job and having a near relapse. And so at that point in time, too, things were going really well with Jenny, and they were almost the point where they would, where they were going to break the news to Carter, and they were going to try to, let them know what's going on and be a real couple instead of just making out behind closed doors and like just having a little, seeing a little kiss and hug and whatever, and just spending time together and holding each other when no one else was around, right? So unfortunately, though, at that point in time, Garrett, also took it upon himself to try to help his dad again, and he flew to Nova Scotia just to try to be there for his dad and his sisters and mom and try to fix things after his little sisters and his mom called him crying, and his mom said, oh, he's left again. And so, of course, Garrett ended up, going to where he knew his dad would be, and he ended up trying to fix things. And it ended up, too, that luck would have it that at this point in time, he ended up getting a job in Vancouver. There was an opening that came up, and that just made Garrett's whole world. And honestly, I love the slow lead up to, from friendship to more, and the way that Garrett and Jenny are together. It's just like couple goals, honestly. And I just really felt all the feels with them. And I was so happy when they finally made it work. And I am so looking forward to reading the other books in the series, the other 3 books. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of Becka Mack's novels, or if you've had the pleasure of getting to meet her in person. She is super sweet. And I'm not sure if you saw from my short, like with the photos of her with the music in the background and that kind of thing. But yeah, she was super sweet. She was adorable. She was like, and I also, I ended up giving her a craft kit so she'd do it with her kids because she does have a couple kids, and also she used to be a kindergarten teacher, and I thought, why not give her a little craft kit? And when I gave it to her, she's like, oh, thank you so much. We're totally going to make these when we get home. The kids will enjoy this. And yeah, so I also gave her a Christmas card, as when I met her, it was around Christmas time. And so I also wanted to read you the synopsis for this book. So it says here, in the sizzling hockey romance that has taken TikTok by storm, a dedicated player struggles with the number 1 team rule: don't go near the captain's sister. He's found the perfect person, but she's the only one he can't be with. Garrett Anderson knows that playing professional hockey requires absolute dedication to the rules. There's just one rule he's finding difficult to follow: stay away from his captain's younger sister. As a professional dancer, Jenny Beckett knows what it takes to excel. She prides herself on being every bit as confident and bold as her brother, sassy as hell, and the only person in charge of her pleasure. No wonder Garrett can't stay away from her, even if he forgets how to form sentences whenever she's around. Jenny would rather avoid her brother's teammate, especially after several embarrassing run-ins, but suddenly they're neighbors. And as the connection between them grows, Garrett and Jenny decide to have some fun. No strings attached. Between their busy schedules and her brother's disapproval, they know keeping things casual and low-key is the smartest play. But what if their feelings get in the way? After all, they're only supposed to be playing with each other. And also a little bit about Becka Mack. Becka Mack is an avid reader, writer, and kindergarten teacher. Becca enjoys writing swoon-worthy romances with lovable, relatable characters, loads of humor, and a healthy dose of drama on the way to happily ever after. She lives with her husband, children, and 4-legged babies in Ontario, Canada. So yeah, I definitely really enjoyed this book, and I would highly recommend this series. And honestly, as it said about Becka Mack on the back of the book there, yes, indeed, I find all of our characters super relatable, and I feel like they could be just the girl or boy next door, even if they're hockey players and hockey players' wives. I mean, there's just something about their personalities and the way that they kind of mesh together. And they could just be anyone, and they could be people and it's just amazing. And I'm really looking forward to reading the other books in the series. Let me know as well if there's any authors or series that you want me to try to read in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, take care. Bye, guys.